Hey, just going to take you through this bee sanctuary. So created by Albert, the one that created the Mini, and give you a little tour, let you see what's going on, and hopefully it'll be a little clearer. But let me flip. So this is the base, all right? So kind of like a horse. We've got these clips he designed. So you secure two. I've got them screwed down pretty tight. You have these clips, and they grab on, and that way you can keep things together. It keeps, wind's not going to take them off, or they're not going to get knocked off, or even if somebody pushes up against it, it's definitely not going anywhere. So this box is set up to be. It's essentially two Langstroth. So the 16 and 16 and a quarter. So it's a 32 and change total width, and it is a medium by design for a start. And you have so you could run regular medium frames. So here, got a medium frame. You can run medium frames in this box. So 10 frame, do like you normally would. You've got two sides. Right now I have a separator board, and the separator board has these edges, and that's I'll go over that with the minis. So what I'm planning on doing is running this side to start. I've got a nuke coming, and that's deeps. And so what we had to do is create I'll show you this over here. So this is a spacer, 3-inch spacer, with a lip that is for converting to deep. So let me let's do this. All right. So as you can see, you put this on, and now these are set up. Now these are all mediums, of course. So, but imagine if they're deep, they're going to go all the way to the bottom. So my 5 frames, I'll get additional deep frames. Those will go in, and essentially this becomes a single brood chamber, single brood box setup. Or at least that's the way I'm gonna handle it, is go ahead and do these all deep, all brood, let them have this as their brood nest. I will put since I'm going to get those in May, the nuke in May, I should be largely past the worry about a swarm, because there'll be 5. They'll have plenty of room in here. So what I'll do is I'll put a queen excluder across the top of this, and then what's going to go on top of that is a comb box. And a comb box has the same hardware, so the same hardware on the corners, and so it'll go on here. Queen excluder will be in there. This is the setup, and as I was saying, this is what allows you to run. If I pop this out, you just, again, you could do mediums. You could just do a regular super with regular frames and Langstroth frames. I guess you should stop saying regular. But in this setup, if you put the centerpiece in and it's got this lip, then you can run the minis. And the minis allow you to do comb. So these are the mini frames, all right, as you've seen in the past, right? So these are the mini frames. You can hang stuff. I've got some here, some old in here. But so we take this and you put these frames. Propolis for the wind. So these frames go in, and you can do 15 on this side and 15 on this side. And when they draw that out, then obviously you can pop these out. You cut around them. You've got a 5-inch by 5-inch essentially piece of comb without having to break down a full frame, like cut it or do anything like that. You just cut around the edges, which they don't store. You don't really have a lot of leakage because you cut around the edges. So 15, you'll have this in here, and you can leave this open. They will create some crazy comb So what I will probably do, where'd it go, is put in, so here's a piece from last year. So this, you see what happens is you go ahead and you put this piece on here, and then what you end up doing is putting this in the middle. They'll draw that out, and you can use that. Again, you can still cut that. I let this one was actually obviously in the brute chamber. Another piece. And here's one without. This is a good example. So this is, if you have this piece in here, there's going to be an opening. There's a little chance they're going to put the crazy comb in. But I'm going to put this one in. And so you end up with having the same kind of foundation. Well, I'll put a piece of starter strip in here. And that way this will be in place in the middle. These guys will hang on it. And this will run all the way in between all of the minis, allowing you to have this great big chunk of comb, which you can cut into multiple pieces or do one giant piece. And then you have 30 of these mini frames to go ahead and deal with. So that's how I intend to run the setup. Basically left side this year. And then the expansion, okay, is the right side. And so what I'll do is I'll show you what's going on here. Now these right side boxes, you've got these tops, which I can put, they'll be put on top of here as well. And so you can open these or not and let the girls fly as you want. So let's put this here. All right. So as you can see, we can put as a top, goes like this, and there's a roof. So you can allow access. There's airflow through these guys. So this side is showing you what this setup looks like if you run it with the frames like this. So again, here is one of these. There's a big piece right in the middle. Okay, and so you've got that down there. I've got some securing screws so that it doesn't wander. Last year I ran into a problem where as I was pulling these out, if this shifts, they kind of fall off the edge here, and you piss off a lot of the girls when they all kind of fall and you have to try to scoop them up. So this screw was just a nice way to create a little stoppage. Let that go. And as you can see, this is all the comb. Most of these have comb in it from last year. And this is what this comb box will look like with it all full up. So there's another 30 frames. And if you want, since this is a hard stop in the middle, I'll either put a blocker here initially, but if I want to, I can just make this a split if I need to. Move them over to move the split over on this side, and go side by side. So that's one option there. So I'm kind of keeping that keeping that that in mind is all my backup space. And if I really, if they're going gangbusters, I guess, haven't thought about this too much, but I could come in here, knock out this centerpiece, move one of these pieces into the center, okay, because it still has the lip, move that into the center. That would give them the freedom to move between the two sides. So they could expand this way, and then just run. The whole hive would be both of these. They just walk over the bump in the middle, but they can go in. You could open it up and have both running. So it's got some flexibility. The roof is currently off. I'm working on that. There were some fixes and things to go on, but that, if you saw on any of my videos previously, the whole roof goes over the top, and it will fit with. Or at least that's what I've been told, is with the spacer, it will fit, still cover the top. So I won't be able to go crazy high, do a bunch of the supers, unless I leave the top off. What I can do is I can come in here and I can, pretty frequently go in and change out these Since there's only one hive, I don't have a lot of managements in my backyard, so I'm not traveling. It's not like a weekly thing. I can go out and I can pull full frames out of here and keep replacing them with empty frames or frames with a little starter strip. And that way I can just keep a rotation. So I'm not pulling the entire super. I'm just changing out frames. So if they're going gangbusters, go ahead and pull a bunch of frames out of here, replace them. They'll draw them out and do their thing. So that's, and just keep rejuvenating the individual mini frames instead of trying to throw many, many, many boxes on there. So a little bit of planning, I guess, a little bit of proactiveness. So that's at least the plan that I've got going. We'll see how that goes. So this has been a little bit of a tour. Let me know if you have any questions or stuff. This is definitely different. And since it's not standard Langstroth, I mean, it's many of the same sizes. But it makes you think a little bit more about how you do things. So it's a bit of a challenge, but we're working on it. And look forward to hearing what you say. Talk to you later.